In just a few hours, New Jersey, a bustling state in the United States, has been transformed into an unprecedented flood zone. Cars float like toys in a water tank. Bustling streets are now nothing but raging torrents, swallowing everything in their path. From Scotch Plains to Roselle Park, from Union to Plainfield, the floodwaters have woken the state of New Jersey to a real nightmare. But the worst part is, it happened so fast, so suddenly, and it may not stop. Historic rainfalls in the night? From around 11 p.m., torrential rains began to fall on New Jersey. People thought it was just a normal summer rain. But no one expected that in just a few hours, the rainfall exceeded 7 inches, equivalent to nearly 180 millimeters in many areas. The sewer system was overwhelmed, sewers overflowed, and the entire city began to be submerged. Security cameras captured water pouring into basements within minutes. Neighborhoods that had been peaceful during the day were now completely lost under the reddish-brown of the floodwaters. City disease. In residential areas, screams and desperate calls echoed in the rainy night. A mother ran upstairs with her child. A father tried to save his car as it was being swept away. Windows flew open. Garage doors shattered. Everyday items were submerged, dragged along, and smashed together in the water. Residents in Scotch Plains said they could not believe what was happening right in their neighborhood. The water rose so quickly that within minutes, the ground floor was submerged. They had to climb onto their roofs, waiting in the cold, holding their phones, flashlights flickering in the pouring rain. Traffic perigel, streets cut off. All major routes, such as US 22, I-78, and freeway exits were closed. Traffic was completely halted. Night shift workers, bus drivers, and people on their way home were stranded in the water. There were not enough rescue vehicles, and emergency services were overwhelmed. In New York City, the subway system was also severely affected. Water flooded the train station stairs, submerging the platforms. People stood stunned, watching the water flow right under their feet, while the announcement system was down. Emergency warnings cover New Jersey. A series of emergency warnings were sent to millions of phones in the area. Urgent calls: stay away from basements, find higher ground, do not enter flooded streets. Television stations and social media were constantly updating the situation. In the darkness, the light of their phones was their only connection to the outside world. The government ordered the opening of shelters in North Plainfield and neighboring towns. Recreation centers, churches, gyms were all converted into temporary shelters for residents. Some were full within 30 minutes of opening. Touching rescue efforts. Police, firefighters, volunteers, and even the military were urgently mobilized. They used lifeboats, ropes, and even excavators to reach each isolated house. Dozens of people were rescued from their nearly submerged cars. Some stood on the roof of their cars for 3 hours in the cold rain, waiting to be rescued. Some rescue vehicles even flooded while on the job. Videos show rescuers pulling each other out of rushing water. It's more than just a mission, it's a fight for survival. Airports, trains, transportation systems closed. Major airports like Newark, JFK, and LaGuardia canceled dozens of flights. Thousands of passengers were stranded. Many were unable to leave the airport because of flooded roads. Some flights landed with water up to their doors. New Jersey Transit, the state's lifeline, was paralyzed. Buses were stuck in the middle of the road. Trains were stopped mid-flight because the tracks were submerged. People had no way to get home. The big question: can we protect a disaster? This flash flood is considered the most severe in many years, but it may not be the last. With global climate change, storms like this will become more frequent, more intense, and less predictable. Meteorologists say the cause is a stationary front, a stationary area of weather, combined with summer humidity, causing rain to fall in the same area for hours. This is more than just a weather problem. It is a real test of infrastructure, response capacity, and human will. Although the floods took everything away, The human spirit did not sink. From the truck driver who stopped in the middle of the road to save an elderly woman, to the resident who opened his door to let his neighbor in to escape the floodwaters, kindness shines through in times of need. This is a time not only to pray for New Jersey, but also to act for a future less vulnerable to natural disasters. If you see the video,